Hello friends. Hi, how's it going? Hello cuties, how are you? Good. That's not your intro. Hey everybody, I'm G. If you don't know me, I hope you're here to learn more about me. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I hope you're having a grand day whenever you're watching this, but I'm uploading this on Sunday, so that's hopefully when you'll see this. This video, by the title, sorry, ignore that. By the title of this video, you can probably tell that we're talking about dental hygiene school. So lately, I'm gonna try to filter that word out of my vocabulary. Lately, I've been getting a lot of messages, and this happened last summer as well because it's when you're prepping to start school. I've been getting a lot of messages from girlies and boys who are about to start dental hygiene school, and they're all really wanting to know what to expect that first semester. And it's kind of hard to respond to a lot of messages, and every person's questions are a little bit different, so copy and pasting doesn't really work for answers. So I figured I could just make a video and answer all of your burning questions for that first semester. If you go on my channel, I did videos each semester on things that I learned in dental hygiene school, so kind of little tidbits from every semester of things that I learned. I'm gonna grab my phone because I do have a couple DMs that I wanna make sure that I write down the questions up. But for the most part, I wrote them down on a little sticky note. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything because this information is important, and whenever I was going to school, I didn't have anybody to ask these questions to because I didn't know anybody that had gone through hygiene school, and that's the basis of why I created all of my socials, was to help people with hygiene school and kind of through that because it's tough and it's a new experience, and if you don't know anything about it, then who are you going to ask? And the internet can only give you so many questions, and a lot of the videos that you see online regarding this stuff are either really outdated, or those people either aren't hygienists anymore or they're a lot older. So school was different when they went through it. So not that there's anything wrong with being older or anything like that, but it's just their information is a little outdated. And since I just graduated, I feel like I have a lot to offer. Okay, so first, congratulations on getting into dental hygiene school. That's a big feat. I am proud of you for that, if not anything else. And this is going to be the ride of your life. You are about to embark on a big journey, and not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can make it all the way through, and not a lot of people make great dental hygienists, and that's okay. You know, it's not a career for everybody, but you were chosen by your admissions board for a reason. They saw something in you that they think will make a great dental hygienist, so cling to that. Okay, let's just jump into the video. I don't want to jumble for too long. The first couple questions are going to come directly from this one specific DM because it's the most recent, so I want to make sure that I touch on it. All right, give me a rundown on how many hours, days, a week lectures, classes are, and clinical. Okay, so this is the biggest because I don't think I even knew this, because a lot of programs, hygiene is an associate's degree, so you just think, oh, like it's just gonna be a couple classes a day and then I'll be in and out, right? No, not at all. I really think that all hygiene programs should either be bachelor's programs. Mine was a bachelor's program, but to be honest with you, with the stuff that you learn and the things that you do, I really think hygiene should be a master's, but that's just my own thought. And especially since you get a license, like an actual license to practice the profession, I really think it should be a master's, but what do I know? Anyway. All right, so that first semester you will be in school 8 to 5 every day. Just expect that because, well, I guess I should say 8 to 4:30 because you'll be in class all day long, and then you'll have lunch. And then usually 2 out of the days of the week, you'll probably have pre-clinic, where that's where you learn how to use all the instruments and how you learn how to be a hygienist. You learn all the instruments, you learn all the things that you use on a patient. You learn the different ways to choose certain things for patients, what's correct for a given patient, what's not correct, that kind of a thing. Just how to think on your toes about what a specific situation or person or patient in your chair needs. So I would expect to be in class from 8 to 5 every single day, including Fridays. I know that it's pretty normal for the dental field to not work on Fridays. At least it is in the state of Texas. So a lot of people don't work on Fridays, and a lot of dental schools either lighten up your load on Fridays, and that's true for when you're about to finish or like your last year, but that starting point is gonna be rough. I'm just here to warn you and let you know that it's gonna be hard at first, and it's better if I just tell you the truth rather than being like, it's gonna be fine, because it's hard at first. And that's coming from somebody who already had gone to school for something else. I had already gone to school for biology. I have a degree in biology, and I studied a lot that first semester. I will say, when I say I studied a lot, I guess I need to be specific. So I would be in class from 8 to 4 every single day, and some classes are science, like basic science based, and then some classes are going to be hygiene based, where you again learn all things hygiene, if you will. And when you go home, I would usually come home, eat dinner, work out, and then I'd study for about 2 hours every single day. And I did this consistently that entire first semester until probably after Thanksgiving. And then I started going back to my cramming habits from college, and that kind of didn't do good things for me, just in the sense that I lost sleep because I was cramming instead of, you know, studying the way I was supposed to be. But with that being said, I don't think I ever went to bed later than 11:30 from studying for an exam. I cut myself off. I said it's time to be done. That's a thing you need to do with yourself. You need to set a boundary on how long you're going to study, what your timing is for studying, because you need sleep. Because I just told you you're going to be in class for a really long time, and then you're going to be seeing patients. You're probably second semester or starting in the summer after your first year, and you need to learn to balance all of that workload with sleep. So make sure that you're getting sleep, and make sure that you're studying every day for just like a little bit. Like I said, like hour and a half to 2 every night, and then be done. And I was usually in bed doing that. If I studied consistently every day for like 2 hours, I was in bed by like 10:30 every single night. So if I can do it, you can. Trust me. I'm somebody who was not self-motivated for a very long time in my life. And finally in hygiene school, I was like, I'm doing this different. I'm going to. So that one. Also, something to prepare for. You will be tired. You will be mentally drained. I am just telling you that now. So with that comes, make sure you are doing things outside of school that are not hygiene related at all. If that means going for a walk with your friends, with your dog, going out for some drinks with your friends, going out on the weekends, watching a movie, I don't know, going to the grocery store, whatever it is, whatever your thing is that's not hygiene, make sure you have that, because it's so important to have something that's not hygiene related while you're in school. It's exhausting for that to be your entire personality, and it will burn you out much faster, and you'll pay the price, I'm telling you. So make sure that you find hobbies outside of school. I know that I said that you'll be dedicating a lot of time to school, but you'll also have time for a life on the weekends. You'll have time for your family on the weekends. Maybe not all day, every day, but for sure I was able to do Sunday night dinners the way my parents do. I was able to go to their house every single Sunday for that. I was able to spend time with my friends on the weekends, and it really helped me because it reminded me that I'm a person, not just a hygiene student. And sometimes it's easy to forget that you're also just a person in your 20s or whatever decade you're in, trying to experience, like live life and experience things and have friends and giggle and travel and fall in love and, you know, experience all the things, start a family, find new interests, whatever it may be. You need to remind yourself that you're human and you're not just somebody who's a student, if that makes sense. There were a couple, I will say this, there were a couple moms in my class, and they were able to do school. They, granted, were probably tired and they probably didn't sleep as much as the rest of us, but they were able to get through school, and they're very smart. They're very dedicated to what they do. And I find that moms kind of have a superpower that the rest of us don't have. So if you're a mom and you're going through this, I think that you will be just fine. I think you will be great. Use your professors, make sure you go to them and ask them for help when you need it. They're there to help you, even though sometimes it feels like they're trying to ruin your life. They're there to help you, I promise you. You'll come to learn that with time. And I'm looking at my bullet points. The next thing I wanna, if you've never taken an upper level science course, this is something that I have to detail to people, because when they ask me, I have taken an upper level science course before, multiple. I mean, I have a degree in upper level sciences. So the science courses were, even hygiene courses were pretty, I was able to follow them without too much struggle, because I had already been tested on these materials at a much higher level. And I'm not saying that hygiene school is easy, because it's really not at all. The classes are hard, but I was being tested at a level that was expected to either go to medical school, dental school, research, to go into a PhD. So I was tested at a very high level in college, and the Baylor biology program is known for being very difficult. So I say that, take my advice with a grain of salt. if that makes sense. So if you're somebody who's never been to like, you know, college before and you've never taken upper level sciences, you will spend a lot of time learning the basics and learning the foundation of science and physiology and anatomy, and that's okay. You just need to make sure that you understand it, because if you don't, in hygiene school, things just compound. So you'll pay the price later. You'll have to focus later to learn all those foundational things that you didn't learn at first. And I used to think that memorizing was understanding. It's not. They're two very different things. You have to understand something in order to be able to build on that concept. So a great way to test if you know something is teaching somebody else. So making sure that you can understand that something enough to teach it to someone else. And once you can do that, usually you're in a good position to say, okay, now I understand this and now I can be tested on it. Does that make sense? This is something that is very difficult because I find that a lot of people in the dental field are perfectionists, and that's not something that's new to us. I think the world kind of knows that. People that are in the dental field are a lot of the times people who suffer from perfectionism. I am one of those people. You are going to fail. Get comfortable with that now. Get comfortable failing at an instrument. Get comfortable not knowing how to take blood pressure. Get comfortable not knowing how to read something. Get comfortable not knowing how to take somebody's blood glucose when you have them in the chair, because that is where the learning happens, when you admit that to somebody and they can help you from their knowledge. The faster you learn that failure is your key to success, you're gonna be fine. Don't get so caught up in the tiny little details of hygiene school, the little tiny points. Just don't lose yourself in that. I promise you, you're going to be fine. You just have to get comfortable with learning that you aren't perfect, and that's okay. Oh, this is a big question that I get from a lot of people looking at my notes. Can I have a job first semester? This is the one semester that I'm gonna tell you no. You can probably have one in the spring, but in the fall, to be honest with you, it's too much all at once at the beginning. I'm going to advise against you getting a job only because of the amount of time you're in school. And if you get a job, it's gonna cut into your study time and it's going to cut into your human time. But if you have to have a job, I understand that. I know that, you know, not everybody is in a position to just be a student in school. And I understand that. Make sure that you're working with your program. If they can make you a modified student, maybe do that. We had a modified student in our class. I think there's one in every single class, and she's incredible and so smart. She's a mom and she got pregnant, I think her first year in, but anyway, she was a modified student. So if you're somebody who has to work and you know that school is not your strongest suit, maybe look into being a modified student if your program allows that. But this is probably the one semester I'm gonna tell you that you really shouldn't have a job if you can make it all the way through. Find your why. Why are you doing this? Okay, if you don't have one, if they didn't ask you that in your interview, find one. This is your homework if you don't know. Find your why. It's important, it's gonna carry you through school, and it's gonna make those days with poopy humans in your chair worth it, because you have an ultimate goal. My, why is very simple and plain. I live in a state where the majority of the patients at my school were of my same culture, but couldn't get adequate health care. And I do it for them. I do it for the people in my culture who look like my mom, my dad, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, who need the help and can't get it otherwise. That is why I do what I do. And to teach my own culture and bring oral health care to my own culture, which is the Latino culture. That is why I do what I do. I love sharing that with the people in my own community, with the people in my own ethnicity, with the people in my own culture. I love educating them because they are the best learners and they are the greatest patients. And that is why I do what I do. So find your why. It's very important that you find it, because if you don't, this will burn you out and it'll spit you back out in about 2 weeks. Anyway, I know that this was a little, more to the point, but I wanted to do that with you guys because I feel like, again, you don't get this information really anywhere else. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram and DM me. I'm here to help. I'm here to educate. I'm here to be a helping hand along the way. If you need something in hygiene school, if you have a question about something, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here for this and so much more. You've got this. You can do this. you're on your way to being a hygienist. Okay, see you guys later.